Darren Bell with Collect TV, and I am joined by NFL cornerback Logan Ryan, who has an incredible piece in the Goldin 100 Part 2. He is actually selling the ball. Tom Brady's last pass as a Patriot. Logan, you obviously were on the Patriots with Brady, then you were on the Titans, intercepted that pass at what, like the 10-yard line or something like that, and ran it in. First of all, I got to ask, so what was that moment like? It must have been a little surreal.
Yeah, I think surreal is the word. I just know being a Patriot, divisional game at Foxborough, how hard it is for a road team to win there. And anytime that Brady has the ball last in a game, we've seen this story. I've won some Super Bowls because of that guy having the ball last. So there was 10, 20 seconds left in the game, and they're down a point and he has the ball. And we're like, oh, here we go. And then, one of the first plays in that drive for that ball to get tipped up for me to catch it was definitely surreal. Took him down, I guess. But it was crazy that ended up being his last pass, after 20 years, the last pass of a dynasty, the last ball he touched. To go to me was definitely surreal. But, who better, right? A former Patriot to end that dynasty there.
Yeah, I was going to say if it was not tipped, that it was your insight over the years of seeing him. But because it was tipped, it was just kind of like a catch game. I wish you just kind of like picked it off because you knew
But,
something.
hey, we don't discredit interceptions. They're hard to get by. But I will say, Dean Pease was our defensive coordinator, and Mike Vrabel was our head coach, both former Patriots. Dean Pease is the defensive coordinator for the Patriots during the first dynasty. So we put together a defense that put me in the middle to read
Right.
Brady, to have a good. So I was in that position to end the game for a reason. The tip made it an easier catch, but we definitely had a good schematic game plan to go up there and beat them, at home, which I think Brady's probably lost fewer than two, maybe playoff games at home in his career. So I think that was, quite the feat.
Okay, now I often think that athletes don't have the wherewithal, especially in the moment, to think about their memorabilia. Emmett Smith famously tagging every single ball like an animal, I
Right.
mean, which paid dividends to him. So take me through, you catch the ball, you run it in. My boy Mike Evans has thrown it in a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how aware were you of the moment, and then tell me what happens next?
So I ran it in. My head coach, Mike Vrabel, was pissed at me for scoring. Because if I would have
Oh, you were
slid,
so close. Come on.
right. If I would have slid, I think Mike thinks the game would have technically been over with a QB kneel. But when you get a chance to pick six Brady, I mean, there's probably less than 10 individuals in the world have done that. So obviously I was going to take that opportunity. I spiked the ball for a shout out to Gronk. So I did a Gronk spike after I scored. You'll see my hands up in all the pictures, but then I did a Gronk spike and it got all that paint from the end zone on the ball, which is cool. One of my teammates gave me the ball back, so I didn't have that much wherewithal, but I did have the ball. And what I typically do in my career is I keep the interception balls, but I give them to friends and family members. So my mom has my first interception. My dad has my Peyton Manning ball, and I give it to, if I have a family member that's a Cowboys fan, and I pick off the Cowboys, I give them the ball. I wasn't giving anyone this ball. This ball was sitting in my house, and my kids were actually like kicking it around a little bit. And I was like, I should pick this up off the floor, right? Because I'm not that big into it. So I picked it up off the floor, kept it in a case a couple months after. It's been sitting there in a case, pristine, until I got to play with Brady on the Bucks. I get to play with Brady on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom is great at signing items around Christmas time for his teammates. He's always good about that. He's a great guy. So I had him sign a couple of T-shirts, and I snuck in the football with a post-it note and said, hey, can you sign this and date this? And can you also write your last pass to Patriot because this is the ball.
Oh my God.
And,
See, that
and
hurts. I was wondering when you were getting it signed because there was, I mean, at that time, obviously, so we probably knew, right? But like, I can't imagine if you did that after the game, like
no,
he would be, that would not happen.
that took
Yeah.
years of courage for that to happen. And he had fun with it. He threw it on Twitter. So he signed it. He dated it. and he even wrote, last pass as a Patriot. And I think the most
Amazing.
unique thing when I think about collectibles is like if you catch a home run that's significant, or you witness something, a game worn jersey in a significant game, like that's awesome. But like, how many athletes, get the last ball, sign the last ball, and then actually write, "This is my last ball as a Patriot." So I think that's the most unique thing about it, is that he partaked in this, and he actually is cool about the auctioning. We talked about it, and I said, "Man, it's a funny story how our careers ended up with that moment. He threw that ball to me and everything like that. Your last pass is a pick six, but like, let's do some good with it." And he got on board. We went with Goldin Auctions. It's a company that Tom's familiar with too, and they do a great job. And it's obviously authenticated and verified by me and him.
Oh, it's authenticated as
Yeah,
authenticated
and
can be.
part of the proceeds are going to go to my animal charity, RARF, Animal
Oh,
Foundation. So
awesome.
it's gonna like go. Some of it's going to go to charity. So it's a good thing too. It's going to help animals in need. So for Tom to get on board with it and sign it and have fun with it, and then we auction it off, I think it should go to a collector, a Tom fan, a Patriots fan, someone who really values these items. But Noah has Tom's blessing behind it, and he wants it to go to a good price, to a good person, to help animals.
What about a Titans fan?
Yeah, or I look. Obviously, we have the miracle there with Frank Wycheck and Kevin Dyson, right? I think it could be, if you look at the Titans' history, it could be a top three play, and being an inch short from winning a Super Bowl, it could be a top three play in Titans history, because you're taking down the GOAT on the road. I mean, it's the last time Titans won playoff games, so I think it's a pretty significant item for a Titans fan as well.
Are you going to be watching the auction reloading, or are you going to be doing something else and then check it in the morning?
I'm gonna be, I'm gonna just let it do its thing. It's in great hands. I'm gonna let it do its thing. I'll check it in. I'll check in on it because obviously my charity has some stake in it there. But yeah, I'm not gonna ball watch it too close. I don't want to. I'm not gonna ball watch it.
Are you a collector at all? Have you collected at least your things?
I have I have all my Super Bowl things. I have I always had different cleats, and I would wear like a different pair of cleat every game. I've had cleats painted, Kobe Bryant type inspired cleats. I had Allen Iverson type cleats, favorite athletes. I've had cleats with my kids on it. So I've kept all that stuff. I've kept my Super Bowl jerseys and all that stuff like that. So I understand the importance and significance of it for sure. The footballs, like I said, the interceptions, I always gave it away. So this is one of the few interceptions I've actually kept, and I'm giving this one away as well. So for the right price. So, I'm not a huge collector.
Logan Ryan, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you luck in the auction in the Golden 100.
Yeah, appreciate it.